Hello friends, today in this tutorial we will be talking about JavaScript cookies, the concept of storing user information, important user information inside the browser. So basically there are two ways by which we can store information about the user. So whenever you visit any sort of website, we can store the information using MySQL database or any sort of database that you use, MongoDB. We get the user input and we store data inside the browser. And the second way is to use some kind of concepts called as cookies. Cookies, as you all know guys, if you visit any sort of website, a pop-up window just is displayed every time. So there is a concept of cookies out there. So cookies is the way by which the website visitors, website owners can store some information about you. This information can be anything. Let's suppose you are visiting any sort of e-commerce store. You just want to buy some kind of products. So they can store the products, which products you have added to the cart. So basically whenever you visit the website for the second time, then they can show you those products. So your likings, your likes, dislikes, all this information can be stored inside without having to use database. So this is stored using cookies. So cookies can be tracked inside the browser guys. This is my Google Chrome browser. You can see, simply go to inspect element and simply you need to open your application tab here. And inside the application tab, as you can see here, we have this concept as cookies. You will see that in this home path I am storing these no values are present right here. So if you refresh this page here, we need to create a cookie. So inside the name value pair, so this cookie comprise of various parameters guys. This is the key value pair. The cookie is stored inside the browser in the form of key value pair. Key is the name, value is the actual cookie value, and this is a domain, and this is a path. So if you go to any website, let's suppose if you go to guys amazon.com. So if I go to amazon.com, if I inspect element, this is my account here in Amazon. If you go to your Amazon application tab, and you will find out this cookies. So you can see how many cookies they are storing it. This is the home page. You can now see name, value pair, domain, path. This is expiry date. So expiry date means that whenever the cookie will be expired. So let's suppose you can store this cookie for 24 hours, 48 hours. So any length of time you can store it. This comes you under expiry date. Then we have the size of the cookie, this HTTP status. So all of the properties are there guys. We will be discussing these properties in detail. So every website store it. So now in order to store this guys, as I enter the key here, let's suppose if I enter here username, and if I enter the value John, so as I click this button guys, you will see a cookie will be created inside here, inside my browser. If I click this button, you will see a username cookie has been created with the value of John. You will see that it is created for this domain, which is localhost 127.0.0.55500. Path is by default is home route. You can only access on the home page. And then we have the expiry date. You will see that this is the today's date. So expiry date, you will see that to 2023 10/31. So it is exactly storing it for 365 days. If I show you the time here guys, you will see that it is storing it for 365 days. You can even change this value to any date of your choice. You can even take this as an input as well. So if I want to create another cookie here, let's suppose item, and I will say here car, click on, you can now see a second cookie has been created inside this. This is the name value pair here, item, car, domain. So if you just refresh the page guys, this information will stay. This is persistent. As you can see, we are not storing this information in a database, but still this information is persistent. It is displaying it inside the browser. And if I close this window, let's suppose if I close this window, then you will see these two items will still stay. If I close this window, again if I open this same window here, index.html, so what you will find out that this information is still staying. So this is the advantage of using cookies guys. If you don't have a database, if you just have a small application, you can just use the concept of cookies in order to store useful user information. If you are developing some kind of authentication system, then also you can use cookies to store some kind of important information. So it is available inside your application tab. This is the cookies here. So now we will see guys how to create cookies in the first place. I will delete all this code here and start from scratch. So this is a simple index.html file guys you need to create. We are including this cookies.js file. So the very first thing guys, how to create a cookie. It's very simple. What is cookie? So cookie is, as I already told you, it's a very important set of information that you store about a user whenever they visit a website, and you store it inside the browser. So this information is stored inside this property guys, which is document is a base class, and it has a property called as cookie inbuilt inside the browser. So inside the browser we have this property document.cookie. With the help of this property guys, we can set a cookie here. We can set like this. We can set a cookie called as let's suppose I set here whatever name you can give here, key value pair. So let's suppose I give here country and then is equal to India. This is one cookie has been set, and you need to put a semicolon right here. So if you now execute this code guys, you will now see a third cookie will be added. If you see, a third cookie will be added. If you go to the application tab, you will see that country, you will see value is India. You can now see this is session. By default guys, if you don't provide an expiration date here, it will automatically delete once you close the browser. So if I close this tab here, if I close this tab and if I again refresh it, if I open this window once again, if I once again go to inspect element and try to find out that cookie inside application, this cookie will still stay, but I need to close this browser explicitly. If I close the browser, the session will close and these two cookies will automatically get deleted. But if you now want to provide an expiration date for a cookie, so how you can do that guys? So basically we have a property called as expires. So this property makes sure that you can set a expiration date. So this takes a day as well. So let's suppose I fire this, I can provide it. Today date is Monday, and I can say here Wednesday, and I need to write the date. So the date will be in UTC format. So I can simply say 2 November 2022, and then we can also provide a time as well. So 13:00, and then this needs to be in UTC colon. That's it. So now you can see we have also provided a expiration date guys. So once you refresh it, you will also see this expiration date appearing here inside the application tab. You can see that. So this is the expiration date guys. Maximum age of the cookie here 2022 11, this time in UTC. So that's why you are able to see this. Let me make it side by side so that you can see that. So you can just see guys inside our basically application tab the information about the cookie. So in this way guys, you can create as many cookies as you want. We can just copy this information, paste it once again. So if I once again create another cookie here, if I copy this information, paste it, and I just need to change this user parameter. I change this to, let's suppose name property. You will see another property will be created, name is equal to India. So 4 cookies are there. So this is very easy guys. And the third property is for the specific path. It also takes a path property guys. So basically if you want to store it in which path, so by default it is through the home path, but you can even change this path as well. So let's suppose I only want to show this on a specific path. If you're developing a login or registration system or specific route, I can say /product. So what will happen? We need to create this product.html file here. So this cookie will only be accessible inside this path. So this is, if you go to /product here, so this cookie will only be available in that route. You will see that. If I need to just display this cookie here, this will only be accessible inside this product.html because we have specifically provided the path is equal to /product. So this also takes the option, but we will just put this to slash. This is a easiest format guide. This is a name key value pair it takes. This is a key value, and this is the actual value of the cookie, and this is the expiration date. And now basically guys, we will be allowing the user to create their own cookies. You can even delete these cookies from here as well. So simply right click and delete. You can even delete these cookies from the browser itself. So now you can see there are no cookies out there. If you refresh the page, there are no cookies. So we will allow the user to create their own cookies, guys. So what we can do is that we can simply attach a simple form here. We can give it a simple ID field here form, and inside this we will simply allow the user, here we will say enter cookie key value, and then we will have a simple another field of type text. This time we will allow the user to enter the cookie value. So we will simply say here placeholder enter cookie key value like this. And then guys, we will have a simple button to simply create the cookie. So we will simply have a simple button. If you click this button after entering all the information, your cookie will be created inside the browser. So if you now see, so just refresh it, you will now see there is two fields out there, cookie key value, and we can even take expiration date also guys, but we will not take it. So that's it. So after this guys, you will now see, now we just need to basically write the code for this. So whenever we submit the form, document dot get element by id form, so we need to add a event listener to it. So when the form submits, this callback function will execute. So first of all, we need to prevent the auto submission of the form, and then we will get all the entries here. First is the key value. So document dot get element by id key will get the value like this, and the value actual cookie value we will get like this. Again, document dot get element by id value dot value. After getting all these things guys, so we need to create the cookie. So we will simply have a if condition here. If key is empty or value is empty, in that case we will show the user a message that please enter all the fields. So we will say please enter all the fields. In the else scenario guys, we will create the cookie. So for creating the cookie, we will just call a function. We will pass the key value, actual value, and the expiration time guys. This can be anything. I will pass here 365. So we are storing this for a whole year, this value. This is inside days, so this is 365 days. This is equal to 1 year. So we are storing this cookie inside the browser for 1 year. So basically guys, we now need to create this function which is set cookie. It will take the key and the value and the time of the cookie like this. So after this guys, here we need to simply say, if you just refresh it, if you click create cookie, if you refresh it, I think we haven't given the ID to the form. Form is there. Oh sorry, this needs to be ID key, and ID is equal to value. So just add this and click on, you will see please enter all the fields. So there is a message out there. So now we need to create this cookie guys inside the browser. For creating the cookies, it's very simple. First of all, we will get the current time. So for that, we can simply instantiate a new instance of date constructor. So we will get the current date out there, and after getting the current date guys, we will set the time here, set time on the date. So d dot get time, this will get the current time for us, and now we will add 365 days to it. So in order to do that, we will multiply the time, multiply it by 24, because there are 24 hours in the whole day. So that's why we are multiplying it, and then again in 1 hour there are 60 minutes, so we are multiplied by 60, and there are 60 seconds in 1 hour, we are again multiplied by 60. So we need to convert this into millisecond, guys, so we will multiplying it by 1000, because in 1 second is equal to 1000 milliseconds, so this will get the value in millisecond. After that, guys, we need to set the expiration time here, so this equal to expires is equal to, and then we will concatenate the, we need to convert this into UTC time, so we will call this method which is UTC string. So this will convert the date time to a universal coordinated time, which is called as UTC. So this is a built-in function of JavaScript to convert your date into UTC. After this, guys, we will set the cookie by document.cookie property, and here inside this we will use the template string, and inside this, guys, we will say, we can do like this, template string cname, sorry, whatever is the name, whatever is the key here, we will say here key is equal to key, we will bind this variable, so key is equal to value. So this is the actual syntax of the cookie that I showed you early on, and then we need to put a semicolon, and then we have got the expires keyword, guys. We need to put the expiration time that we calculated, which is there inside this variable expires. After getting the time, guys, we just need to add the path property. It is not mandatory that you add this path property, but we will simply say here path is equal to slash, that's it. So this is our cookie, guys, which is created right here. So now we can simply just run this application here. If I inspect element and try to go into the application tab here, where all the cookies are stored here, and this is your cookie, so you can see that already 2 cookies are set here, which is the name and the country. If you refresh the page, already these 2 cookies are stored. So what we can do is that we can delete this and once again refresh it. So now if I enter the key value, so name is equal to John. So if I click create cookie, so what will happen, if I see inside the console, I think there are some kind of error out there. Let me see what is the error. CName is equal to expires. Oh, sorry, we are missing this semicolon, guys. So this is a semicolon we are missing. So just add this semicolon, and now again go to application. So now there are no cookies out there. If I enter the name value, name is equal to John. So click create cookie. So if you see that, guys, if you refresh the page, your cookie is created. You will see that your cookie is created with the name key value. You will see that. You can see that this is for the home page, and it is expiring in a year time. So 31st November 2023. So it is exactly 1 year from now. So you can now see size is 8 bytes. So if I now enter another cookie here, product, and if I say here car, click on create cookie, and again you need to refresh this. So you will see that name, product, your product cookie is also created. So what we can do is that we can programmatically, after we create the cookie, we can refresh the page. So what we can do is that we can simply say here window dot location dot reload. So we just need to reload the current page after we create the cookie. So let's suppose I select here item, and if I say here jersey, click on create cookie, you will now see a third cookie is added right here. So in this way, guys, you can create the cookies programmatically using JavaScript. Now the question arises that how to display all these cookies which are created inside the browser, how to read these cookies. It's a very important system because we need to read these cookies values. So how we can do this? It's very simple. So we can simply attach a onload event handler, guys, to the body. So whenever the page loads this will automatically execute. So we will say get cookies. We will define this function get cookies inside our JavaScript. So whenever the function loads, this function will automatically execute get cookies. So inside this, guys, we will fetch all the cookies which are stored inside the browser. So for fetching it, we will declare a variable which is cookies. And here we will simply say document.cookie. So where all the cookies are stored, he will use the split method, guys. We will split these cookies using semicolon. So this will now be an array, guys. So we can simply have the result here. So we can simply say here we will loop through this. So we will simply say let I is equal to 1. We are just using the for loop. I less than cookies dot length, because this is a now a array I plus plus. So for each iteration, guys, we need to add this to the this result variable. We will append this I plus and then dash, and then we will simply get the cookies value like this. So cookies index will be I minus 1. So for the first iteration, it will be cookies 0, then it will be cookies 1, like this. As indexing starts from 0 in programming, that's why. And then we will have a simple break tag, that's it. After this, guys, we will load all, we will display this on the screen. So for displaying this, we will use document.get element by ID. So we have given this ID inside the DOM element, which you can see. Let me add this. So div result. So here we will showing all the cookies here, guys. So we'll put here result. Inner HTML will be equal to the result. That's it. So if you now refresh it, guys, your cookies will be there. You can now see undefined, it is coming. If you refresh the page here, inner HTML. So if you now add some cookies right here, guys, click on create cookie. You can now see the cookies are showing here like this. Automatically you can create, you can fetch all the cookies that you're creating. So in this way, guys, you can create the cookies, you can read the information about the cookies in JavaScript. This was a short little tutorial covering the concept of cookies, which are very much useful in JavaScript whenever you want to save user information inside the browser. If you like this video, then please hit that like button, subscribe the channel, and I will be seeing you in the next tutorial. Until then, thank you very much.